Hey, greetings folks. Welcome to another edition of Faulkner Fixes All. Who else can give you this kind of content? Who else can consecutively make very boring videos? Okay, so today we got to get this off the stand temporarily. I need this stand. I don't really like the other park stand. It's okay, but there's no reason to have two stands up here. It was kind of a pinch the other day. So we, excuse me, it's dusty in here. We got to throw this fender on that I painted, throw this terrible front wheel on that's not reworked, and that's the other wheel that's Schwinn that's not reworked. We haven't done any wheel work, in other words, and we're kicking this off the stand because we need to. I have some other things going on. It's another whole project. Because why finish something off when it's really hard to string those wheels up and takes lots of time? Just go on to another project. Anyway, I do have a deal on some... I've got a deal on some wheels off of an older J.C. Higgins girls bike that's really cheap, and it is a skip tooth. I might just buy that bike and, heaven forbid, just part it out and take the wheels. I haven't seen the condition of the wheels yet, but I'm leaning towards that rather than paint a whole wheel and restring all this stuff. You know, replacing a few spokes and repacking a hub is one thing. You know, diving in deep and relacing wheels is, yeah, sure, it's great fun, but it takes time. And yeah, I gotta move on. I need this stand. This has to get off. You know how it is. This project has to get kicked to the back burner. So to do that, we have to put this fender on, which is over there. We're gonna put it on real quick. We're gonna throw the bars on real quick and put the front wheel on, and then we're gonna kick it down. And then I'll cut you guys off, and then I'll go down and get the other project that I got from my buddy about 2 months ago. It's not anything like this, don't worry. It is a lightweight Schwinn, and it is a really nice one, and you guys are gonna love it. But there is a problem with the frame. And you know, we're not afraid to bend frames around here. We just go for it. All right, let's get this fender. I had it on this little jig because I was painting it. I did paint the stays, and the only reason I painted the stays was because the back stays were rusty on that other fender really bad, and I painted those also. So normally I would not paint these stays. Were actually, the gunmetal was pretty good, but this is a Schwinn fender, and it started life on a Schwinn Catalina, but now it's going to go on an Aggie's Wolf. So let's bring this over here. And that back fender came with the bike. The front fender did not come with the bike. So now we're going to put this one on. And then once we get a wheel on it, there is a kickstand on it already. And once we get a wheel on it, we will be able to kick it down off the stand. And I hate to do it that way, but we have to. We need this stand very badly for what I'm doing next. And I don't have the wheel set for this, and I don't really feel, actually, I don't really feel like stringing up all those wheels. It's a lot, and I don't have a lot of time right now. In fact, I don't really even have time to do this. But we need this stand. And to get this stand, this has to stand up on its own and be nice. Okay. That was close. So what do we have here? We have a Schwinn Catalina fender on a Aggie's Wolf. And of course this has to go way in like that when you put the wheel on. It looks pretty good, folks. That doesn't look too bad. I mean, with a proper wheel set and a skip tooth chain, we might even throw the seat back on just to get this off the stand. Let's keep going here. Let's try to put the front wheel on. Yeah. Try. Put the front wheel on. take these off. There's a lot going on to get this front wheel on, but we need to get this off the stand, and it has to sit on its own. It has to stand up with the kickstand. And if it doesn't, I will lose my marbles. Okay, let's get that front wheel over here. And here is a front wheel, missing a few spokes, very dusty, not repacked. It's toast. We just want to stand the bike up on its own. That's all we're doing here. Don't worry. This is not a permanent solution for this bike. Right now, we just want this to go away for a minute, get covered up, far away, over in the stack of bikes that need work. That's what's going on here. Oh, man, that's a rough one. Let's see, let's put this one here. I know it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be whammy right now. This is just to stand the bike up. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of weird looking, isn't it? Yeah, we're gonna have to adjust the. We're gonna have to adjust these. They're wrong. The fork is different than. This fender is for a Schwinn fork, and the throw is a little bit different, the bend, so we're going to have to adjust these. We might even have to drill them out and put different ones on, but for now we're just chucking it on. I omitted a washer there. I don't really care. This just has to, like I said 9 times, all this has to do is sit on the ground. It's all that's happening there. Actually, you know what? That's not bad. I don't think we're going to have to adjust much. Let's check it out. Oh, yeah. Hey, you know, that's not bad. I guess the throw of the fork and the bending of the fender from Schwinn balloon tire to 30's bike is close. This front fender came off of a 63 or 4 Schwinn Catalina. I'd have to go check to see if it was a middleweight. I think it was. Not bad. I think, you know, with the right front wheel, with a better front wheel that wasn't missing 9 spokes and wasn't a complete goner. Okay. We should be able to put this on the ground, and I think I'm going to skip putting the bars on it right now and the seat. Let's just get it off the stand and see if this terrible kickstand works. Okay. All right, let's see if this the world's worst kickstand works now. I have my doubts. Ooh, it's close. It's close to not working. Yeah, that's kicked way over. I don't think I have anything else that would even become close to that. I think we're just going to have to deal with what's there. I don't think that's going to be the end of the world. At least we can stand it up somewhere. Maybe in this front part of the stack. We desperately need this stand, is what I'm saying. Anyway, let's get it over here. I don't think I'm putting these bars in today. There's no reason, especially with this kickstand all crazy, to have bars smashing against stuff. Anyway, let's put it here in front of the stack, and then I'll shut you guys off for a minute, and then we will go down and get the next project. Now, you know, I know I'm jumping around. I know we're jumping around on this, but I don't have the time to string up all these wheels right now. That's kind of a winter time thing. I have to make all these table bases, and I got to go help my friend at his wood shop. It's just kind of a luxury at this point in time in the year, at this season in the year, to be working on bikes. But I'm weaseling some in there for you. Yeah, for me too. Anyway, let's go down and we're going to get the other project. So in about 1 second, you're going to see the next project. And we got to bend the frame. And you guys are going to love that because, you know, we like bending frames and stuff. It's fun. So yes, we are kicking this to the side just for a minute. It looks great. The kickstand sucks. We're kicking it to the side. I got a line on this other bike. I think I'm just going to part out for the wheel set. Don't tell anybody. That's what happens to girls' bikes. Anyway, let's pop you back up here, and I'll be back in about 1 second your time. Okay. Yeah, here's the next project I'll never finish. Actually, I do actually finish things, but I just had to jump on this one because I don't have to string wheels for this one. This is a complete bike from my buddy John. By the way, thank you, John. I guess he didn't want to deal with this one because one of the back stays is bent, and I'll show you where. And you know, we're just going to caveman it in this vise over here. We're going to put some blocks of wood here. I'm just going to put the frame up here and bend the living heck out of it. Anyway, we don't care. This is bent. Take it from me, it is bent. One of these sides is bent. I think it's this side, actually. Yeah, I think this is the one. If we look for some paint loss here, maybe. Pretty sure this one's okay. I think it's this one. Yeah, you can see it curved in a little bit. We'll just take this little spacer thing out. We'll clamp it in some wood in the vise, and we will just go for it. And what we'll do is we'll keep fitting the back wheel in until we see that the back wheel is straight. Now this is a complete bike. Everything is here. Every nut, bolt, stem, everything. Even the original wrap, which I could kind of rewrap maybe. It's all here. 26.8. I think he might have even turned this down for me. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask John about that one. I can't remember what he said about that. I'll have to ask him if this is the original stem. I believe it to be 100% original bike. Toe clips, brakes, kickstand, the aluminum cranks, protector, even the freewheel. I mean, it's all there, folks. Right down to the chain. I don't know if I'll use that chain. And the wheels. And look, he even wrote on here, Schwinn Sports Tourer. Cool, because I wouldn't want to, you know, put the wrong wheel on. Anyway, so let's just throw the back wheel on real quick, and I'll show you what's going on about what needs to be bent. This is a 72, I believe. September of 72. JH, and it's stamped in the front here, which is kind of a super sport kind of thing. When you see him stamped in the front like that, that's kind of a high-end frame, and you can also tell it's a high-end frame. I mean, look at the brazing there, you know, in here. It's the bigger tube, fillet brazing here, obviously there. These are brazed on instead of electroforged welded. There's actual dropouts. You know, this is a quality frame. This is the slightly higher end frame. It's not a Paramount, but it was made, it wasn't made in the standard Schwinn factory. I think this probably was made, I'm not sure. I'd have to research where this frame was made, but it definitely is not thrown together like a Varsity or a Continental. Nothing wrong with those bikes. They're just a little cheaper. All right, let's just pop this wheel on, and I can tell you, I'll show you what's going on with the bend. What has to be bent. It's got these rim washers which are incorrect. Huh. Well, we'll just leave them on for now. Get wheel on. Come on, folks. There we go. All right. It's got these rim washers, which isn't correct for this style wheel, but we're just going to put it on anyway. Yeah, tire's toast, but yeah, it doesn't really look that bad, actually, now that I look at it. Yeah, it's kicked off a little. I'll show you. So with the wheel centered correctly and it up against this spacer, which is correct. Well, these rim washers aren't correct. Ooh, thunder. So with it cinched up where it's supposed to go, you can see it's over a little bit. The trained eye could tell. There's, you know, thumb stops there. And I guess I could get a measuring. Let's get a tape measure, huh? The thumb method. Come on, man. This is a precision channel. All right, so from the rim to there is 3/4 of an inch. And from the rim to here is a little over 3/4. No, it's about half. Yeah. No, 3/4, sorry. I wonder if this rim is kind of bent too. There's right, that's over 3/4. I think the rim's bent a little bit. And that's 3/4. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't even mess with this frame. You know, it's not bad. It's the rim. I don't know if I'm going to even mess with this frame. Maybe I'll just build it up and run it and see how it feels. Maybe it's down in here. You know, once I have this centered on here, I don't really see a big problem. I'm gonna have to really look at this, maybe with the tire off, and because the tire's got a big flat spot on it. Yeah, maybe I'll take these silly washers off too. Let's take these washers off and reseat it back on there. I remember looking at it, and it was bent. We'll take these rim locks off. They don't go on this style anyway. I could definitely use these somewhere else, though. That's a nice part. I think the skewer's bent, too. The skewer does not want to come out. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the skewer's a little bent. I can feel it. The skewer should just slide right out. And it's just kind of sticky. It doesn't look that bent. It's just, it is bent, yeah. Yeah, I probably have to replace that. But for now, let's just pop it back in. And we'll put it back on. Maybe it's not that bent, folks. Maybe I shouldn't mess with it at all. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's the wrong skewer. That's why those washers were there. Huh. Wouldn't be like John to give me the wrong stuff. Maybe it was the guy before him. Yeah, it's not like John to be. That guy doesn't play around. Okay. Oh yeah, with the worm washers off of there, it is. You can tell it has some issues. Yeah. It's not bad though. Yeah, we might have to bend it still. See, it's kicked over that way just a little bit, and it's kicked over this way. I think this is bent. We're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to bend that out a little bit. It's a little wonky. Something's going on there, and it wasn't really prevalent with those rim washers on there. And probably the guy before him ran the rim washers so he could run the bike. But these do not go on quick release. But I can definitely use these somewhere else. These will be used. Yeah, So that's what's happening. This is a complete bike. It's all here. Everything is here. Look at that. It's really nice. Anyway, yeah, we'll be building this up. Ooh, man, it's hot out here. I don't know if I'm really going to mess with this, though. I mean, yeah, I think we're going to have to, because what's going to happen is if we adjust it over, see, because you want to adjust this part over. So you're like, okay, let me just undo this and pop this over a little, and then you tighten it up, and then it's off here a little bit. It's a little tight here. It's questionable. It's just a little bit. We got to bend it a little bit, and I think this is the one to do, because I can see that's curved. It's just a little light touch. It's not, you know, this is a sports tour. You don't just go into this hardcore. You know, you got to be easy. Okay, so this is the next project. This one's on hold. Like I said, I don't feel like stringing all these wheels up. And I got a line on a cheap parts bike. That's a girl's tank bike with skip tooth parts that, you know, I hate to say it, but it's probably just going to get parted out. It's got some good stuff on it too. Truss rods. It's got a girl's tank. I'll probably resell that. But yeah, girl's JC Higgins. Whap, whap. Heavy as the tank. It's a tank bike. It's heavy. Okay, so this is it. This is the next deal. And nice color. I'll have to research what color that is. I forgot. Sunset orange, maybe? And the grip tape could be rewrapped a little bit. It's very nice. And everything is here. There's the shifters, brakes, front derailleur, which has seen much better days. There's even a rear derailleur, which is a Latour. No, lay something. What is that? Schwinn approved. Latour. Yeah, this is a sweet derailleur. And you can tell it's a quality frame when you see this kind of stuff here. You know, that's nice. Yeah, this would be a nice bike. We're going to hook it up. And, you know, I'm not going to restore it, but if I can find some really nice Continentals, 27 by 1.25 inches, I'll do that. I don't think these are 700C. I don't think that was quite the year they switched over. What are these? They're just some crappy. Yeah, these are Bell. 27 by 1.25 inches, yeah. Oh, look, a mouse chewed this. Interesting. Okay, well, that's the deal, and thanks for tuning in, and that's the next project, and we will finish that other one. It's just, I had to make the call about just finding another parts bike because it's just too much, even for me. Okay, signing off. Just take a gander. Do 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 do. All right, keep it positive, folks.